Hey everyone, thanks for joining me for the second episode of Dude and His Hobbies. This time I just want to go through a basic assembly for a miniature. This miniature was one that I got off of eBay, came packaged just like this. Not so exciting, but it's okay because the main package is a bubble wrap, and there's not a whole lot here that can be damaged, and also it saves a little bit on their shipping end and costs to me. I've had this open a couple times because I'm fiddling around with it, but if you also notice, there aren't any instructions. The instructions are actually relatively easy to find. I found them online. Basically just Googled. I'm opening a screen right now. It's buildinstructions.com. They have a bunch of PDF files for assembling different kits, and really it was, hey, let's join the newsletter and see how things go. So we'll find out what that looks like sooner or later. Hopefully it's not too annoying, but I do get several models like this. Normally I can figure out how they assemble just by looking at them. I mean, you get used to it after so many years, but really there's some fiddly bits in here that I was like, I don't know. So I decided I'd research, found it. Well, let me move on to the stuff I need to assemble. Really, of course. Ooh, plastic cement. I think that's a necessity. A decent hobby knife. It's an X-Acto. A nice sharp blade. My clippers. Yeah, as I said, kind of expensive, but you know what? Look how thin those nibs are. Yeah, I think that's good. And then my emery board. Ooh, there is always some sanding that I'd rather do. Um, Other than that, occasionally I have some hobby magnifiers because, yeah, these old eyes of mine, they do struggle occasionally. So I wish I could share. Tell you what, maybe I'll add this when I edit. But I'm going to take a look at the screen, and this will just be the build. Go to, episode one. Let's try page one. Page one starts off with the head, the gas mask, and it goes into the main body section. So of course let's clip. I like clipping as close as I can. I hate shaving sprue gates off just because sometimes you get a little extra because, I'm a little careless. But anyway, there we go. There's that. The head looks kind of like rhino. Woo! Oh, it's kind of cool. I like it. Actually, Typhus. The reason I got Typhus was because I've been reading a lot of Dark Imperium stuff. Finally finishing up Godblight. Yeah, talk about being behind the times. Ended up really enjoying this series. I really liked Typhus from what I read when I read Mortarion earlier this summer, or last summer, I should say. I thought it was an enjoyable read. So, obviously, I got the first three pieces off from the initial instruction, and it really is carefully taking that off. I like to get off the main pieces, the main chunks, the bigger chunks, and then backwards use my X-Acto knife, slide along backwards like I would seam lines to get the remainder, because that doesn't dig at it. And let's see, there's one there. There's not much there, so I could probably just dig a little bit. Then checking around, there's a little bit extra on that arm, which is going to be the same thing. It's nice and easy because you don't want to see a big chunk come out, which I have to repair with something else later on. Yeah, I do that a lot. So maybe I should just call this the average modeler screen. Never mind, stream. But I enjoy it. I'm not a pro by any stretch of the imagination. I just really like this hobby. I think it's creative, gives you a chance to do a little bit of interesting cuts and builds. Um, Keeps you occupied. I'd like to say keeps you young. Doesn't really. It just keeps you occupied and enjoying this part of life quite a bit. I like that games were, well, lots of hobbies you'll see in manufacturers I like that they do create like models for their main characters and everything. But Games Workshop's always been one of my favorite when it comes to 40K. Just that dark sci-fi where things are just going awry for humanity. Yeah, I'm still cheering for the good guys. I think in the first episode I showed the Black Templar guys. Whether they're good or bad, I don't know. All depends. If you like the zealot types, humans trying to protect but destroy the Xenos and all that other stuff, they're there. But then maybe not. It's up to you. Maybe it is the chaos that's good, and the the Imperium, is evil. So, you know what? This one I really probably should have thrown my goggles on. One of these days, I'll just have to turn the camera around so you can see my goofy goggles. They work. Actually, they are regular jewelers magnifiers that you wear over your head. These ones fit pretty well on my glasses too. So there we go. That's it. I think I said that sometimes you go with the regular thickness glue. Sometimes you don't. But I don't think I really need to this time, because a lot of times I can get that thin glue just to sit in there decently, and yep, like that. All right, sorry about that. I had to take a little bit of a break. Anyway, if you notice, I pulled out the thick, regular thickness glue, because there is a bit here that will not stay in. Or I should say, this makes it a lot easier to stay in. So this head has to go through, and then an angle so it stays in like that, if you can see. Maybe if I put it into the little groove a little bit better, like that. There you go. If you notice, I kind of missed the gas mask going into the head piece. I didn't miss it. I just did that while I was on a little bit of a break there. So let's